Today we're going to be trying out some of the new and older Mountain House foods. We're going to try them out. We're going to make them right here. As you can see, I got some water boiling, so stick around and watch us cook. Okay, so today I got two examples of some Mountain House food that I have stored away. One I just recently picked up in Walmart, and one that I bought at a camping and hunting gear store, about 4 or 5 years ago. We're going to start off the two of them. One of them here is the Mountain House chicken breast with rib meat. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Yeah, you can. Okay. And mashed potatoes. And we're going to try, this is the newer one in the new packaging. This is the macaroni and cheese. So I got some water boiling on my stove over there. Part of this video is also to show you a neat old stove. And I got this stove for free, believe it or not. This is an old Coleman gas stove, dual burner. I only have one burner going at the moment. It took me a little while to remember how to pump it up again. I forgot. I hadn't used it in a long time. So along with doing a video and teaching you guys something and showing you guys something, I get a little practice myself. And that's a neat part about doing videos, especially in the survival community. I'm going to move it up here so you can see. This stove was practically in brand new condition when I got it. We have a group in town called Free Cycle. And what they do is they give away stuff they don't want anymore. So if you have an old, let's say, tool set you no longer want because you bought a better one, you can give yours away. And this woman had just moved into our town and had no longer had a use for this. And I asked her if it worked, and she said it did when I bought it. I said, when did you buy it? And she's like, oh, I think I bought it from a friend in 1995. So I looked it up, and it turns out it's probably mid-70s. But it's in perfect condition. The most I had to do on the surface, on the top there, where it says Coleman on the other side, is I had to paint over a little bit of rust. I sanded and painted over with some of the same color paint. Other than that, the stove is perfect, and it works great. Even the seals are still good. I am looking into picking up some extra supplies for the seals on the pump and everything. But other than that, this stove is a really good deal, and for free, it's an amazing deal. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that. I got some water boiling. When it boils, we're going to read the instructions on these foods here, and we're going to give them a try. We're going to cook them and give them a try. So I will be back when the water is boiling. Now, while we're waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to go over a little bit of the nutritional information. These are not health food by any means. They are backpacking, high energy, and or possibly survival foods. There's a lot of sodium in these, 31 grams of carbs, 320 calories total. This is the mac and cheese, by the way. Sodium is 680 milligrams. That's a lot. But regardless, this is something that, it's a lot lighter than putting MREs in your bug out bag. And it can be folded up, it can be squished. You can stick this pretty much anywhere. And I believe the water required for this is 2/3 a cup of boiling water, which hopefully we'll have soon there. It's going along nicely. And you just let it stand for 8 or 9 minutes, stir, and there you go. You got food. The other guy here. Okay. And by the way, this is a bit more complicated than just dumping water in there. I read the instructions on this one. I guess there's 2 pouches in there. You have to remove the meat, place the potatoes in there, then rehydrate the meat after. Anyway. Carbohydrates, 21 grams, sodium, 800 milligrams. And by the way, a serving size is half the package, so you're looking at about 1,600 milligrams of salt if you eat this whole thing. Again, not health food. This is energy food. This is, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're going to split this with somebody. Backpacking, but as long as you can withstand that, as long as your blood pressure doesn't spike, these are a good alternative. So anyway, when the water gets done, we're going to first start with the macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to figure out the Mountain House on camera with you. The chicken breasts and rib meat with mashed potatoes on camera with you, because I didn't really read the instructions. I just kind of looked at them as I put it up to the camera, and I'm like, what? So we're going to wait for the water to boil. Okay, so I kind of cheated, and I already opened up the packages. But we've got some boiling water here, so we're going to try the first one. Now, remember when you open these, there's oxygen absorbers inside of them. You want to take those out. They'll look like that. I'll have a big "Do Not Eat" sign on them, written on them, like you needed to be told that. Anyway, this one takes 2/3 cup of water. Okay, we're going to take this. I'm going to use my ultra scientific way of measuring. Yeah, it's about 2/3. If it needs more, I can always add it. And I hope you can see this. Dump it in the bag. That does not look like enough. I think I was a little short, so just put a little extra. Okay. Now I'm going to seal the bag up because it has a little snap seal, kind of like a Ziploc bag. And let it stand for 8 to 9 minutes. Okay. So that one's done. That's cooking right now. That's all sealed up and cooking. Want to make sure it's on camera. Okay. Now we're going to move over to the chicken and rib meat. Okay. Wasn't as difficult as I thought. I really should have read the instructions before I did the video. Anyway, you add 1.5 cups of boiling water to the meat. Fully immerse the meat in water. Close the zipper and let stand for 2 to 3 minutes. So basically, here's the deal. Here are your mashed potatoes. They're separate. The meat, you make sure you can see it on camera because I've done this in the past and you haven't been able to. There. It's just regular chicken meat. Chicken breasts. Dehydrated. And this also has an oxygen absorber. So you want to get that out of there. And we got 1.5 cups. All right. And this, in all honesty, this is right on the edge of boiling. It's not really boiling yet, but it's close enough. 1.5, I see. A little bit more. Okay. I'm gonna put a little extra in there. There's that. And that little tiny bit that I think I missed. And there's that. All right. And try and put both chicken breasts flat. Okay, let stand, zipper, and let stand for 2 to 3 minutes. So here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to turn off the camera for a sec. I'm going to turn off this. I'm going to get a plate because obviously I have to put those chicken breasts on a plate when we cook that other stuff. But regardless, we'll be back in a few. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so the first part's done here. I'm going to try out the mac and cheese and let you know what I think. Got my handy dandy camping gear, aka plastic fork. I'll give you a look at it. Looks pretty good. I think I may have gone overboard on the water, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. No, it's actually pretty decent. Okay, chicken breast. Now, the instructions say to take these chicken breasts out and place them somewhere else while you're cooking the rest of the meal. These are falling apart, but they look done. They definitely look done. They say to rehydrate the potatoes in the same meat. Maybe I should have used a better fork here. Well, we're gonna, that's hot. I'm gonna dig in there. They say to rehydrate the potatoes in the water that you cooked the chicken in already. So I turned off the stove as we no longer need it. And that's kind of handy. Don't have to mess around with doing that. All right, come on out. So there's the chicken. It doesn't look bad. I mean, I don't know what it's going to taste like, but we'll find out in a minute. You put these in, and you do them for another 2 to 3 minutes in the same water. Throw it in there. Stir it up. And they're thickening up already. But they say to let them stand for 2 or 3 minutes. Probably for purposes of time on this video, I'm just going to, they taste great actually. We're going to close them up and let them sit for a bit. We're going to take a little mac and cheese. And we're going to have a little camping dinner. Or lunch. Now let's try this. Chicken tastes great. Doesn't taste very salty either. Mac and cheese is good. So there you go. They're a little pricey. I wouldn't recommend storing this only for your survival food, as it's expensive, high in sodium, and requires water. You know, whereas other things may not require as much water. Your dehydrated stuff doesn't require as much and you can seal it. This is an entire meal, So I wouldn't recommend them as your sole source of survival food. However, in your vehicle for an emergency kit, in your bug out bag, and maybe a kit you keep if you just have to evacuate your home for a gas leak, whatever. These are a great alternative if you're not fed right away and you got to eat and you're hungry. There you go. I've had these before when I've camped out before, and honestly, they were never as good as some of these newer Mountain House ones. They were also pretty expensive too. I believe this was the chicken and rib meat was like, I want to say close to $7, 6 something. And the mac and cheese was like 3 something, if I remember correctly. Let's check out our potatoes. Oh yeah, mashed potatoes. Good stuff. Yeah, they're good. So there you have it. Freeze-dried camping food. I'll probably eat that for lunch. I probably need to drink a lot of water to get the sodium out. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm glad you guys could join me for this little experiment. I got to work out some of my gear. Got to show you some neat stuff that we have. And we'll be back with more videos soon. Talk to you later.